Mason Rudolph needs to be suspended at least a game. Let's start with that.
It was chaotic and appalling.
Made a mistake. I lost my cool, but I just never got to that point. That's on me.
The Browns' win over Pittsburgh was marred by Myles Garrett's actions, and he knows it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty cowardly, kind of pretty bush league.
Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph.
You know, there's plenty of tape out there to watch. I haven't seen it replay, but yes, I really haven't seen it, anything like that, yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm fine, I'm good.
Myles Garrett has been suspended for the remainder of the season.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
Baker Mayfield despised it.
We can't do that. We can't continue to hurt this team. It's inexcusable.
And Myles Garrett owned it.
I made a mistake. I lost my cool, and I regret it. It's going to come back to hurt our team. The guys who jumped in the little scrum, I appreciate my team having my back, but it just never got to that point.
Louis Riddick, in my view, one of the most underrated football analysts on TV, put it in perspective perfectly.
Do not tell me that this you can just wrap into the context of, well, it's just part of the game. Players fight all the time, because that's BS and you know it. And if you're a former player and you try to say that, you know you're lying. Look at how he swings the helmet. If the crown of that helmet had come down on the top of Mason Rudolph's head, I promise you, we'd be having a different discussion. Because we'd be watching maybe on national TV someone's head split wide open and then bleeding and maybe unconscious, and who knows, maybe something even more unthinkable. So then what would you say? Well, it's just part of the normal course of the game and people get angry? Don't be stupid about this.
A phenomenal point. For a game as violent as the NFL and a league that has endorsed valuing players' safety, the striking down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger must be enacted. Myles Garrett earned this suspension. Today, however, with sports needing to fill time, everyone has a theory, which is who started it. Everyone's point is taken, but if we look at the root of this entire troubling revelation, Myles Garrett drove Mason Rudolph into the ground in a 21-7 game with 14 seconds left, the Browns' W in the bag, and forcefully took the Steelers quarterback down. Am I giving the green light for Rudolph attempting to pull off Garrett's helmet? Absolutely not, no. What I will not okay is any of the actions starting with and afterward.
There's all kinds of cross currents happening here where people are saying, well, if you're going to talk about him, then why aren't you talking about Mason?
No, let's make it clear for everyone. Myles Garrett was dead wrong and should be suspended double-digit games.
So the rulings are official. Myles Garrett is done for the season, including the playoffs if the Browns qualify, and will have to meet with the commissioner's office before being reinstated in 2020. Garrett's suspension, which is at least 6 games, is the longest in NFL history for a single on-field incident. The NFL also suspended Browns defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi for 1 game, pushing Rudolph in the back to the ground shortly after Garrett had slugged the Steelers quarterback in the head with his helmet. Pittsburgh center Marquise Pouncey, who jumped in to Garrett, kicking and punching him after Rudolph had been struck, was suspended 3 games. All 3 players who were ejected are suspended without pay and will be fined. In addition, the NFL has fined the Browns and Steelers organizations $250,000 each for the incident. Myles Garrett now joins the Bad Boys Club with Vontaze Burfict. Not a good club to join. On the list of the longest bans in the National Football League.